What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Want to give y'all a little time to jump in. I see somebody already jumped in. Zamaniki. We are talking about the shooting of Jacob Blake by law enforcement in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm reading Zamaneki's post. You said dude had shot at the cops before and was just ignoring them when the cops had guns drawn on him. If he shot at the cops before, what was his punishment for that? I'm gonna have to check that out. Because I'm gonna keep touching on that, because that has nothing to do with this situation we're dealing with right now. Okay, right. Not this time. Let me get into the intro of what we're talking about, and I'll come back to that. A black man named Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Sunday, which was yesterday, was shot in the back 7 times by police officers in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Key phrase: shot in the back. Shot in the back. Not 1, not 2, not 5, not 6. 7 times. Shot in the back. And I'm going to get to y'all shout outs and all that in a minute, but I want to get right into this because I'm not going to make this long. Police were, according to the story, commanding him to stop, and he kept walking towards his vehicle. And they tased him first, and they shot him 7 times in the back. My question is, again, because y'all know, man, we're going to deal with the double standard, the racial double standard. See, a lot of y'all don't like to talk about that because it makes you uncomfortable to face the reality that it is a racial double standard that exists in this country, in particular when it comes to law enforcement's dealings with black people. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. It's not comfortable. Puts you in a position where you gotta address the truth of the matter. And as is the case, because the first comment that I got on this live was from Zamaneki. Zamaninki. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And sir, your comment gave the impression that you were doing what the media does. You were trying to justify why it was okay for this man to get shot. If I'm wrong, if I'm assessing that wrong, feel free to correct me. But I don't understand why every time this happens, and it keeps happening, the first response is not to look at the situation at hand. The first response always seems to be to try to figure out a way where the person who got shot deserved to get shot. See? They always figure out a way to justify why this person deserved to get shot or killed. Now, fortunately, so far for Jacob Blake, he's in the hospital. He's not dead. He's in serious condition in the hospital. And we praying that he pulls through. Praying that he pulls through for himself, and praying that he pulls through for his family, but more so praying that he pulls through so he can actually live to tell his side of the story for a change, which doesn't always happen with a lot of black people. A lot of black people don't get the opportunity to live to tell the story when they deal with these rogue, racist police officers. And this is not relegated to just one state. If we broke down the list of unarmed black people who were killed by police officers, we could pretty much go state to state. State to state. Texas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio, Louisiana, Arkansas, New York City. It's not relegated to one state, but what it is relegated to is the mindset of these police officers in the United States of America. I don't know how they do it in other countries. I don't know if this is an issue for black people in other countries, but I can say that in the United States, it's a serious issue. See? So Jacob Blake was shot. Again, not once. See, this is where a lot of y'all arguments who want to come in and justify and criminalize the person who gets shot or killed, this is where a lot of y'all arguments fall by the wayside, simply because when you start trying to pose those weak arguments to justify either your racism or either your ignorance, you don't factor in all of the details of it. And all of the details are simple. You shouldn't have shot him, number one. But if you shoot him, why'd you shoot him in the back instead of the arm or the leg? Well, maybe the leg to subdue him. I'm not saying he should have got shot at all. I'm playing the opposite side of just logic to say, I'm playing the side of logic to say, okay, there were other ways to prevent him from walking to his car if that was your fear, right? They tased him before they shot him. You tased him before you shot him, take him down. Why do black people not get took down? And then when black people do get took down, they get choked out. Why is it so difficult to take him down if that's what you feel you got to do, and then apprehend him like you do with white people? Case over. Take him to jail, whatever's going to happen. Makes too much sense, right? But you shoot the man 7 times in the back, going away from you. There were 3 police officers. 1, 2, 3. According to the report, Jacob Blake had his 3 sons in the car. So to go back to people saying, well, he might have been going to get a pistol. He might have been going. I don't know if that's likely with his 3 sons in the car. And even so, all of that is speculation. Speculation. You're just speculating what he was going to the car to do. So now the comply argument comes into play for a lot of y'all. I'm talking to all the people who justify these kind of activities by the police. All these people who feel like the police are never wrong. How many of y'all know somebody that feel like the police are never wrong? No matter what they do, they're never wrong. Well, maybe this, well, maybe that. The police are never wrong. See? So the comply argument comes in. Well, all he had to do was obey the police officer's command. Nope, that argument is dead, because we've seen too many black people go above and beyond to carry out every command that the police officer presents to them, and they still get shot, or they still get choked out, or they still get severely brutalized. So that argument is dead. Compliance doesn't guarantee survival for black people. It just doesn't. Okay? And right when I say that, I read your comment, O Diazo. That's my point. You saying you don't think the police are never wrong, but you also think you shouldn't resist arrest. Hold on, wait. I just said that. I just said for black people, you can document multiple cases where they did not resist arrest. They complied completely. Have you not seen multiple cases where black people complied and they still died? So that argument holds no weight. That doesn't work for us. That's not applicable. That's not applicable to black people. The comply argument. Just don't resist. How many times have you seen police officers holding a black person down? 5 or 6 police officers holding a black person down. He's cuffed. He's in a chokehold, and they still hollering, "Stop resisting." Go listen to my song called "Stop Resisting." They got full control over this guy and just different people in the past, and they're still screaming "Stop resisting" because the "stop resisting" call is a trick. It's a justification for them to do whatever they do, so they can say, "We was telling them to stop resisting, but the video shows he wasn't resisting." So you can holler about all you have to do is not resist arrest. You can say that all day long. See? You can say that all day long. And I feel your point, big boy. But that doesn't stand up because it's too much documentation that speaks otherwise. See? But when white people pull weapons on cops, a lot of times they make it to the police station on 2 feet. I'm just saying, that's a double standard, man. You are in serious denial if you don't acknowledge that there's a double standard in the way black people are handled by police officers in this country compared to white people. You are in serious denial. It's plain and simple. So Jacob Blake was shot. He's in serious condition. They already got the National Guard out there because they know that protests and all that are coming. They already know it's coming. People are going to get in the streets and start marching and protesting. But I really think it's time out for that, man. Now, somebody with more knowledge than me, I'm open for y'all to prove me wrong or correct me, rather. It's just the fact that I'm starting to reach the point where the protesting, while it brings great attention to the problem, it clearly does not solve the problem. It does not solve the problem. The racism and the police brutality is not affected by us standing out there with signs and us walking around chanting phrases. Not affected by that. They've seen that. They've been seeing that since the civil rights movement. They've seen it all 2020. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. They've seen it all year. They've seen more of it this year than they've probably seen in the last 10 years. Going back to Trayvon and Eric Garner and Alton Sterling and Mike Brown. And the killings continue. So what's the solution? What's the solution? You want me to tell you what the real solution is for black people? The best and only solution? And you're right, Don Gonzalez, not just black people, but I have to speak to the most targeted, because I know my Latino brothers and sisters be getting it too. But I got to speak to the most targeted, man. This happens to us on too big of a scale. But the solution is Not voting. That's not the solution. The solution is not marching up and down the street, begging. We need police reform. Begging for something that they're not going to grant you. We need reform in the justice system. That's not the solution either. The solution is for black people to do as it says in the book of Revelations. In the scriptures, it says, come out of her, my people. Who is her? Who is this her that they're talking about? Her represents America. Her is the country. If you living in a house with an abuser, you got an abusive spouse, abusive boyfriend, abusive girlfriend, abusive parent, abusive friend, whatever the case may be. And no matter what happens, man, this person just takes their hatred out on you physically whenever they see fit. Why would you continue to live in the house with that person? Why wouldn't you move? Leave. Separate. Get out of that house. Black people are living in a house with abusers. Black people are living in a house with abusers. But we won't leave. We continue to stay and continue to beg and plead the abuser, the oppressor, to stop oppressing us. Kaba practice or K-Bay praxis says the Stockholm syndrome. Absolutely. Stockholm syndrome means that a person is abducted or taken, and then the person who's taken and abducted starts to feel sorry and feel sympathy and empathy and love for the person who took them. That's us. We suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Let me give y'all these shout outs real quick, man. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what city or state or country you're hitting in from. And we'll get back into it. We're talking about Jacob Blake. Let me know where you're at, man. Let me know where you're from. Shout the city out. Shout the country out. Tell me where you're at. Liz May B. Griffin, my home girl, always supporting me. I appreciate you, Queen. Bay Area. Big boy, I see you. Louisville, Kentucky, Los Angeles, England, New Jersey, Pitt, Pittsburgh, PA, Dade County, Miami, Lafayette, Austin. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Please hit the like button for your big brother. And let's bring attention to this situation. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and keep your notifications on. But hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. ATX, Alabama, St. Paul. I'm going to give y'all name shout outs in a minute. I just like to know the diverse areas that we hitting from. A-Leaf and H-Town in the building. Alabama, Netherlands, Scotland. See, we got people all over the world, man. And we want to bring attention to these. I got you, Liz. Thank you. Want to bring attention to all of these incidents, even though the sad truth and the sad reality is, y'all, it's not going to stop, man. It's not going to stop. How many have there been just since the pandemic? How many international incidents like this. Incidents that have drawn international attention have happened since the pandemic alone. This year, 2020. See? It's not gonna stop, man. That's what black folks got to get through our minds. We got to get through our minds that we are not going to end this. And voting for Trump is not gonna fix it. Voting for Joe Biden is not gonna fix it. Voting for some independent is not gonna fix it. Nobody on those ballots. There are possibly some things locally that could be rectified through the voting process, but you can't get them all. You can't get them all. Because I said earlier, this is not concentrated or relegated to just a particular city or state. This has happened sporadically in all states and cities in the United States of America. Because that kind of hate and racism exists in all cities and states in the United States of America. And what better way for a racist to carry out his racist practices practically unscathed and unpunished? What better way to do that than joining the police force? See, they figured that out years ago. They was like, well, man, okay, we can get our rocks off legally just by joining the police force. See? Shout out to everybody. Rebecca Park, Coldwater, 092, Sam Bryant. What's up? Tone 210, DSW. Tone 210 said, dude had it coming, straight up. I'm starting to wonder about you, Tone. How does a man have it coming with his back turned? According to the reports, the police were called out because a fight had broken out between two women, and Blake was reportedly breaking up the fight. That's the report. Don't know the exact details. But to say that the man had it coming, why did he have it coming? Do you know him personally? Did you watch the video? See, you speak like those cats on Fox News and all of those cats who, no matter, just like I said earlier, you probably just came into the chat. Just like I said earlier, no matter what the police do and how they do it, they're not wrong. You speak like one of those cats. It doesn't matter what the video shows. It doesn't matter what previous protocols and actions have been taken against other people, white people in particular, that were far more threatening, and they were subdued easily and taken in. It doesn't matter what y'all see. When the black dude get it, he had it coming. You don't know he was going to reach in his car. So you can't be slick, Tone. You said he refused orders. That part is true. See, we're going to deal with actual facts. You said he refused orders and went to reach in his car. You being slick. You don't know what he was going to do. We know he refused the orders. But you don't try to be slick. This is me. You don't know what he was going to his car to do. And even if I gave you that, which I'm not, but if I gave you that, even if I gave you that Tone 210, again, they tased him first. There's 3 cops. He's unarmed. Why didn't they take him down physically? Just take him down. Why shoot him in the back 7 times? Come on, man. That's weak. Your argument is weak today, Tone. Go back to the Trump stuff. And that's weak too. No justification for that. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Why can't a person? I'm on your head today, Tone. You said, why can't a person follow simple instructions? You know why, Tone? Because when Philando Castile followed simple instructions, what happened to him? When other black people followed simple instructions, what happened to them? It's different for us, Tone. I pray you never find that out as a black man. You can't have those kind of blinders on. You can't see through life through the eyes of these Fox News reporters that you replicate their speech and their talking points. There's no justification to shoot a man in the back 7 times who's unarmed. There's 3 police officers, and y'all could have took him down if that's the case, if y'all felt threatened that he was going to go get some out of his car. Miss me with that one, bro. Not going to fly today. See? No, I don't have a call-in number, Tone. I'm on Tone, y'all. I'll see the rest of y'all. I wish I had a call-in number. But ain't no call-in number. Say what you got to say. I see all your comments. Yours are standing out because of the sheer ignorance of it right now. So just type fast and we can have this conversation. Black people comply all the time and still get shot, still get killed. Miss me with the just follow instructions. BS. See? How many white folks didn't follow instructions and pulled pistols on the law and got talked off the ledge? Pulled samurai swords and got talked off. That's BS, man. You got to come strong there. I know you're a Trump supporter. I know you are. I know you got a cape for these white supremacists. That's what black guys like you do. You got a cape for these white supremacists. I get it. That's your thing. I don't know what you're getting out of it. I don't know if you're getting a check or something, or are you trying to get a position, get a job somewhere. But yeah. But at the end of the day, man, let me shout y'all guys out. Yeah, black people do comply all the time, and I am serious, Tom. Yes, sir. Promo House, Big Boy, Lady Leg 75, Dirty Diamonds. I don't want to say your name, man. I'm going to say F you. That's your name. That's his name. Yeah, I'm going to be on the, I'm supposed to be on the Immortal Technique album. Deadly Like a Fox. Deadly Like a Fox. Matt, H-Town Coalition, Q Marshall. Let's Make a Porno, 092, Brother Willie. The fact of the matter is, individuals like the homie Tone. Let me deal with this question too, Tone, real quick. I don't know what your this proves my point about you, Tone. You asked me a question that said, how come black folks who vote Democrat are never asked if they're getting a check? You talking to the wrong guy, man. I don't play the Republican Democrat game. See, you watch too much Fox News. See, I got friends who are immersed deeply into the political process. Some are Republicans, some are Democrats, some are Trump supporters, some are not. And that's what you guys do. Y'all sit up and say, if somebody says something about Trump, the main things y'all do, y'all bring up the Democrats or y'all bring up Obama. People ain't stupid. But at the end of the day, that has no bearing on my thought process. So I don't know. You need to go ask a Democrat the question you asked me, or ask somebody else. I don't subscribe to your political affiliations and your love for this political system. I have no interest in that. Neither have done black people any good. So you can't talk to me about If the Democrats, do you ask the Democrats if they get a check? I'm asking you. If a Democrat came on speaking the same stuff you were talking, I'd ask him the same question. Keita G, I see you. Beneath the sewers, these nuts. These police officers are cowards, man. Let's just call it for what it is. Type cowards in the comments, man. If y'all agree. I agree. The Talk 64, you say Democrats are a fake illusion to help black. Yeah, I agree with that. I got love for the Democrats or the Republicans. So you can miss me with the Fox talking points. Type cowards in the comments, man, for these police, man. Why are the police so scary? And they got all the tools. They got all the weapons and all the... I don't understand that. Why are the police so scary? Make me understand. Can somebody make me understand why 3, 4, 5, 6 cops, all with guns and tasers and pepper spray and nightsticks, handcuffs, training, physical hand-to-hand, Krav Maga, Israeli training tactics. Why are y'all so scared of one black person that don't have a gun? Cowards, man. But it's not 100% cowardice. It is cowardice, but it's not 100% cowardice. It's actually racism and hate. So you get an opportunity to kill a black man, and most likely they get away with it more times than not. So it gives you a good opportunity to get away with what you got in your heart to do, to get your rocks off on black people. So let us go. And all the black people who want to stay, let them stay. Let them stay. See, sooner or later you start to see what this white supremacist system really thinks about you as a black person. You find out. All those people who were going hard in the paint for Donald Trump, they falling by the wayside. His whole cabinet. I ain't talking about the black folks now. I was thinking about the diamonds and silks of the world. Diamond and silk. I'm thinking about people like Stacey Dashes of the world. All of the black people who supported this man. He could give a crap about you, man. Look at Herman Cain, man. Herman Cain is dead. They don't even talk about him. They could care less about you, man. You just having fun trolling. Having fun. But in the end, you will find out that this system has no love for black people, brown people, even poor white people. Because the poor white people they're catching hell too. Because Trump is in the office. Trump is in office as a business move. Remember that. Trump has no interest in the welfare of America and the American people. Donald Trump has interest in the welfare of his pocket. He is a businessman. Plain and simple. Dirty Diamonds, Big Ham, Stick Lift, Daniel Robb. SUC 333. What's that? Rabbi? Oh, man, I mispronounced your name. Promo House, Richard Thomas. And I'm going to say this, Richard. We don't need a new Bill of Rights. We need to separate from this system, man. That's all. That's it. We have been unable to live in peace with these people who we have begged and cried for years, whether we were Democrat, whether we were Republican, because black people have predominantly been a part of both parties throughout the years. And Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And when he so-called emancipated black people, we were, hey, that's our guy, he's Republican. That was a shift that took place. And we became Democrats based on candidates that spoke to our situation, so-called spoke to our situation. Now we're Democrats. But we done caught the same hell under both. And guess what? Let me let you in on a little secret. The Democrats and the Republicans, they all cool with each other. They talk that talk. But trust me, their agendas are the same. We've seen the Bushes and the Clintons hanging out together. We just the ones who dumb enough to fall for it to think that these people are not. Man, look, man, this is a hustle. It's a hustle, man. And we believe that our 400-year oppressors are sitting around trying to figure out what's in our best interest as black people. No, sir. Not true. Jacob Blake, man, shot 7 times by Kenosha, Wisconsin police officers. He's in serious condition. Hopefully he pulls through. We pray that he pulls through. And blessings to his family. 3 sons in the car. What does that do to his 3 children who are sitting in that car and watching their father get shot? Do you understand the fear and trauma that those children have to go through, man? Did somebody say he had it coming? So a man got it coming to get shot 7 times in front of his kids, man. Wow. Unbelievable. Children get an early dosage of this type of hate and oppression. They get an early dosage of this type of hate and oppression living in America, unfortunately. I think about Philando Castile's little daughter that saw her father get murdered. Did Philando Castile have it coming? I won't get an answer for that one. Did Philando Castile have it coming? Did he get what he deserved? See? Some of y'all think that no matter what these racists do to black people, it's all right. And all you got to do is just be a good, law-abiding, compliant, passive black person, and nothing's going to happen to you. That couldn't be further from the truth. We have too many examples. The Black Kingpin said, us as humans are built to overpower drama. Yeah, we are built to overpower trauma. But man, an abundance of anything can weigh you down mentally. Yeah. So Alpha, yeah, I'll talk about that. You said off topic, but what do you plan to do if these storms hit us? I'm gonna tie that in together, man. You know, I live in a region where, all my life, man, We have been under hurricane threats. You know, we live on that coast. We live right in the Gulf of Mexico, right on the coast. And hurricanes have always been an issue, you know, but you're seeing an increase in the storms because, again, it's written, man. America's being destroyed. That's what we got to touch on. This country is being destroyed mainly because of its treatment of God's people. Thing. A fair and just God is not going to continue to let innocent black people, innocent brown people just be murdered, man. So the weather is a reflection of God's wrath. The weather is a reflection of God's wrath. So what you're looking at with these storms are just the beginning, because more storms are going to come. Look what's happening in California right now. California's on fire. California's burning up. Wintertime getting ready to roll around. Watch the snow, watch the blizzards, and watch the snow and all of the downpours of that on the East Coast. God is curtailing America on all the sides. So this weather is a reflection. It's not just some happenstance type of occurrences. It's not HARP. It's not tampering with the climate and things of that nature. These things that they do try to do. But the real controller of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes is the Most High God himself. He causes these things to come to existence. He causes this weather to be. See? So yeah, the storms, they may hit. We're in the path of it. We're in the path of it. The best you can do if you live in hurricane regions is have hurricane preparedness. Make sure you got everything you need. And hope that your house hold up. That's all you can do. We at the mercy of the Most High in these situations, man. Yeah. So anyway, man, most likely a lot of these protests will kick back in. I'm not big on these protests anymore, because we are at a point where we should stop expecting justice from from people who have injustice in their heart and in their nature. You can't do it. You can't do it. See? Tell me what y'all think about this, man. If y'all seen the video, or if y'all are just kind of figuring out what's going on. Jacob Blake, a black man, was shot 7 times in the back. Wasn't coming at the officers. Officers had opportunity to take him down if they wanted to. Officers had opportunity to shoot him in the leg. They shot him 7 times in the back. But they did the right thing. Yeah. Never heard of Lil Spill, Shorty, and Point Bond. I never heard of those brothers, SUC. Much love to them. No, I never heard of them. Rep Houston, Texas. Yeah, the tribulations are here, but the scripture also says these things that we're seeing are just the beginning of sorrows. That's right, Brother Willie. We are never going to get justice. Never. It's not going to happen. See? Not going to ever get justice from an unjust nature that exists in these people. Come on now. June 5th. No question. Yeah. A lot of the killings of black people are preventable by police officers. ODIZO, that's right. See? A lot of those killings and shootings are preventable. But you're not going to prevent something that you wanted to do. That's the key. Absolutely. See, that's when you get into the argument about training. Where people say, well, the police need to be retrained. No, the police have the training. They only utilize the training when it's not black people involved or when it's not Latino people involved. They utilize the hell out the training when it's white folks. They use the sensitivity training. They can talk, man, they could talk a Uzi out of a white person's hand and the Uzi be against their head. The training they only seem to lose memory and get amnesia about the training when it comes to black people. Then all of a sudden, there's no training. So no, it's not a matter of them being retrained. It's a matter of black folks being retrained to stop kissing up to the oppressors, to the overseers. Yeah. Police do not focus on de-escalating. They're cowards in a lot of cases, and they're racist in a lot of cases. So you combine cowardice and racism. Let's do a mathematical equation. Cowardice plus racism equals dead black people. That's a mathematical equation. I guess it's 3 parts to that. Cowardice plus racism, excuse my phone, y'all. Cowardice plus racism plus police officer equals dead black person or severely brutalized black person. You got all the tools, man. What you scared of? See? Chris G, the system is the problem. And the system has evolved out of slavery. Yeah, Chris, the system is a problem, but the system would not be a problem if we remove ourselves from it. See? It's just like the analogy that I gave about living in a house with an abusive person. Okay? As long as I continue to live in that house, then that abuse will be a problem. But if I separate, I remove myself from the problem. Then Scrap Lover, Willie Harvey. I've never done prison ministry. I've had opportunities. I'd like to go to the prisons. I've done juvenile detention on multiple occasions where I talk to young brothers, and we do the public schools a lot as well. Matt, it's always an honor to go talk to our youth. We need somebody to talk to and educate our youth and educate ourselves, because the young people teach us. What I found when I go talk to a lot of these young brothers and sisters, they end up teaching me. They end up teaching me. Jacob Blake, man. Jacob Blake. Black man shot 7 times in the back. And he had it coming. He deserved to get shot in the back. Not because he was doing anything wrong. Because he's black. And black people need to stop complaining and just accept when we kill y'all. Just accept it that we're gonna kill y'all. Quit acting like a victim, even when you are victimized. Stop acting like victims, black people. Let us kill y'all. It's okay. Don't bring up the fact that we killed y'all and we shouldn't have. Accept it and stop being a victim. Stop being a victim. Because I'm black. I have a good job. I make such and such a year. My family lives in a gated community. We don't experience these types of oppressions. We don't go through this. What's the problem? I don't know what you people's problem is. My God. I'm tired of you Negroes complaining all the time. I've lived in America all my life. I've never had an issue with law enforcement. Police are not racist. There's no such thing as a racist white police officer. That doesn't exist. I'm black. There's no such thing as a racist police officer. Are you crazy? How could you think such a thing? Stupid, man. I'm doing fine. My children are in the best schools, and I've raised my children to understand that this is America, home of the free, and keep living. I would hope that we can educate ourselves on history more so than emotion. And I also wonder if sometimes, God forbid, let me say that first, but I wonder sometimes that if the same scenario happened to you, happened to one of your family members, I'm talking to these black folks that cape for white supremacy, happened to your brother, your daddy, your sister, your son, your daughter, your uncle, would you feel the same way when you watch the video? Yep, my son had it coming. Because there's no such thing as there's no such thing as racist police officers, man. There are no rogue police officers. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion that all black people are falling for. There is no incident that has ever taken place in the last 10 years from all of the familiar names we know of black people who were killed by, not one of those incidents were racially motivated. That's what these clowns are trying to persuade black people to believe. None of these incidents are racially motivated. See? You know why? Because there's no such thing as racist police officers. There's no such thing as racist politicians. That's not possible. Politicians can't be racist. Police can't be racist. They love all of us. All they do is ride the streets and patrol cars and ride around and make sure everybody's okay. Man, get the hell on with all that, man. Let me give y'all some shout outs real quick, man. Universal God, the homie Liz. I'm gonna have to go back and read some of these because y'all on here talking amongst yourselves. So I gotta make sure I don't miss none of these good points y'all making as well. iMotion Arts, L Dogs, Chris G, Tone 210. No, I'm not lying at all. Who am I lying on? What are you talking about? What did I say that I... Hold on, wait a minute. Boy, Hit Dog gonna holler, ain't it? I was just talking. What you talking about? Now, if you're saying that I'm lying because I was imitating how some black people say that there are no such thing as racist cops and racism itself doesn't exist. No, that's a fact. I've had conversations with these types of people. You talk like one. Lisa Jackson, Azazel, a.k.a. Supra, Joshua, Mr. Hollaback the Hebrew, Mr. Hollaback the Hebrew, Chris G, I'm trying to shout out the people that I have not shouted out. This the K-Rino and Tone show tonight. No. There are people who say that there's no such thing as racism, man. Man, how old are you? Man, you must have been living. You in the bubble with the NBA players. Sam Goodwin says we need to go against the police ourselves. Well, I wouldn't advise that other than self-defense, because you have a right. We have a right. You have a right to protect yourself and defend your life, man. And that's another thing. That's a sad part about it, because a lot of these black people, they die just and are made to feel bad if they don't put up a fight. But you got, man, look, if it's looking like it's about to be me or somebody else, I'm fighting for mine. You know, you try to be diplomatic, you try to be peaceful, because at the end of the day, we got families. You want to make it home to your family. You want to make it home to your children. So when you have those encounters, you want to be as respectful as you can, but at the same time, when your human rights are being violated, and it reaches a point where, look, man, okay, this person is trying to take my life, and it's made clear to you, you have a right given to you by God himself to defend yourself. So don't get caught up in that stop resisting crap. You know, nobody set, well, I won't say nobody, but the average black person, they're not setting out to have confrontations with the police officers or get into non-compliant scenario. We trying to get home. We trying to get it over with, whatever you're going to do. Okay, he was speeding, give him his ticket, trying to get home. But then you got police officers who will go, because they know how to pull on our emotional side. So they'll say, where you going? So as a grown man or grown woman, you're like, man, I'm a grown man, grown woman. And legally, by right, I don't have to tell you where I'm going. But they know that that's how they're going to get you riled up, because the whole plot is to set up the justification for whatever they're going to end up doing to you. So if you go, hey, man, not your business where I'm going. Are you being disrespectful? I ain't being disrespectful, man. I ain't got to tell you where I'm going. Get out the car. Why I got to get out the car? Get out the car. That is. Come on, man. We seen this movie. So, yeah, you got to be smart in doing what you can to get home. And you have to be, it's sad when the citizen has to be responsible for the process of de-escalation. Think about that. A trained officer whose job is whose initial response is supposed to be to de-escalate the situation. Am I correct or am I wrong? Is the officer's initial response supposed to be to de-escalate the situation? Just put yeah or yes if y'all agree. If you don't agree, you can put no. But upon the contact with the incident, is the officer's job supposed to be to first make an attempt to de-escalate? So if that's the case, why do they go in the opposite direction in a lot of situations? You're not de-escalating. You're escalating it. You're trying to provoke a scenario that will give you justification to kill somebody. But in this a lot of particular cases, it's the citizen who's trying to do the de-escalating. I saw a man in Florida that worked at a group home, had an autistic man that he was working with, and the police had drawn down on him, and the man was laying on the ground with his hands up in the air, explaining to the officer, hey, man, I'm a social worker. This is an autistic man. We blah, 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 blah. And the police officer just blasted him. The police, he had it coming. Shouldn't have got that job as a social worker. Because here's the deal. If we're going to jump on every black person who gets victimized and murdered by police officers, unarmed, when are we going to come out and talk about the wrong that the officers do? This is how you know who you're dealing with. If there's no balance, because you never hear these kind of people go, well, yeah, you know what? That was wrong. I can't lie. That was wrong. I can't lie. Trump has lied 20,000 times in less than 4 years in office. You right. That was, he lied right there. I can't lie. But when you got a person, people that go, no matter what these folks do that they support, they were right. Even when it proves to be wrong, that's the people you got to watch. Is Matt James Thomas, 092, Jew Fifth, Soul Alpha, Kamal Khalil. Yeah, Kamal Khalil, it's going to change soon. One way or the other. It's already changing. The labor pains are already happening because there's so much civil unrest. But it's going to change either through our activity, and I don't mean going out committing acts of violence and becoming mercenaries against police officers. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's going to change by our unity, whether it be forced or unforced, because the way this system is working, these folks are being used to force us to unite, because they're not going to let off the gas. We said it long before George Floyd. We said there would be another one. Then when it happened to Ahmaud Arbery, there would be another one. Breonna Taylor, there would be another one. Rayshard Brooks, there would be another one. So here we are, Jacob Blake, another one. Fortunately, he's still alive, and we pray that he makes it through. But guess what? It's going to be another one. It's going to be another one. Think about that. Think about how crazy that is, man. That it's going to be another one. Y'all got to excuse my phone, man. My phone decides to blow up when I get on live. Texas prison story. Salute to you, man. Houston B. Let me speak on your comment too, Houston B, because I do want to touch on that. You said you're not a Trump guy, but I believe Biden will make it worse. I can't argue with that. People assume that if you say something negative about Trump, that you're automatically a Democrat and that you are a supporter of Biden. Nah. So I believe you. Do you realize the things that Joe Biden has done and said against black people in his career as a politician? Joe Biden is just now starting to play that little friendly old grandpa role with the American people, because he may feel as though he's dealing with people who are not old enough to remember or to even be aware of his history as a racist. His history in terms of being partly responsible for locking up a whole lot of black people. He's just now starting to play that little friendly role of being this nice grandpa character. So don't be fooled by Joe Biden either. Don't be fooled by Joe Biden. How do you want your racist? You know, you go to a restaurant and say, how do you want your coffee? How do you want your steak? You want it well done, medium rare? You got to ask yourself, if you're voting, how do you want you're racist? Do you like them outright and blatant like Trump? Because I can respect a person who lets me know where I stand with him. Or do you want your racist slick and cunning and got his arm around you like he your homeboy, but in reality, when he stick his arm around you, he got a knife in his hand? I don't subscribe to none of them. They all devils to me. I repeat, they all devils to me. Trump and Biden view black people the same. They just go about it differently. Let's go about it differently. See? 7 plus 5 is 12. The same as 11 plus 1 is 12. But it still gets you to 12. Got a few more minutes, man. They gangsters. That's right, Rosner. Same dragon, different heads. Chris G. We need to quit crime for police reform because it's not going to happen. I see you, Malachi. Al Ratchet. That's right. Liz. Let's say Liz, Kamala don't care for blacks. She's married to a white man. I think is it Kamala or Kamala? I think her name is pronounced Kamala. I don't like to disrespect and mispronounce people's names. But we can't be fooled by Kamala Harris being selected as the vice president. You got to be able to see strategies and schemes like that from a mile away. Oh, he picked Kamala Harris. Come on, man. So he picked Kamala Harris because he just felt like, oh, wow, she was this great selection and she's so qualified. Not saying she not. I'm not throwing those slugs at a person's qualifications. I'm just saying from his angle, you would be a fool to not know why he selected Kamala Harris as his vice presidential running mate. Because she kills two birds with one stone. She's black and she's a woman. Despite people saying, oh, she's not really black. No, she's black and she's a woman. So it's like, wow, we knocked out two at the same time. Let's go get these votes from these black folks. Come on, man. For real. I'm not familiar with tension between American blacks and the Caribbean black. I'm not familiar with that. Supra, you gotta give me the game on that. I'm totally unaware. I didn't know that was happening. Malcolm, Amaldo. Trying to shout out the people I haven't shouted out already. No question. Yosemite. Yeah. I got love for y'all, man. I want y'all to be careful out there. Be careful out there. Because black people are targets. Breonna Taylor's killers have still not been arrested. Now just think about that. All these months that have passed, this is in March, April, May, June, July, 5 months in. How long does it take to assess that situation and determine that these murdering police officers should have been snatched up for killing Breonna Taylor? Much love to you, Kamal Khalil. Love you too, brother. El Palado. See, when you said that, El Palado, it makes me think of something that Minister Farrakhan said. He said Trump is going to be the last president ever. The minister said something very similar. He left the door open. He said Trump would be America's last president, maybe. So yeah, America's at the end, man. See, all of you people who believe that this great country, America, is so great, and you're standing there with your hand on your heart. I just love this country is the best. Man, America is on its deathbed. You think this gonna go on for 50, 60 more years like this? Look at the condition of the country. Look, you are an idiot if you don't see the level, how low America has fallen in the 4 years just since Trump been in office. You are an idiot. This country is so jacked up right now. Totally jacked up right now. Just in 4 short years. And it's only going to get worse. Look how this clown handled the coronavirus. Let me deal with him real quick. First he said it was a hoax by the Democrats. You all remember that? Remember that clown Trump said that the coronavirus was a hoax by the Democrats? Oh, my bad. The Trump supporters ain't going to say, well, no, he was wrong about that. That's what I would have done. I would have said, oh, yeah, I remember. I'm a Trump supporter. I remember when he said that, yeah, he was wrong on that. They're going to say, well, they're going to make some kind of excuse for him. Now look at how horribly this pandemic was handled by this administration. When it didn't have to be this bad. It would have been bad. I just want us to be honest, man. I wouldn't care if it's my son, man. If my son out there acting a plumb fool, I'm not going to walk around going, no, my son would never. My son's not like that. My son wouldn't do this. My son's good. Ma'am, your son just burnt down 50 people's houses. No, he wouldn't do that. We got him on video doing it. Man, all of y'all free thinkers, all of y'all woke, unprogrammed, non-robotic, supposed free thinkers who view no one as a free thinker if they don't agree with them. I need you to think free for a minute. But I want black people to start thinking free. And real freedom is not going to be continuing to exist in a system that will never, ever, ever accept you as an equal, that will never make reforms and provisions to treat you equally, and a system that continues to allow government, law enforcement to kill and murder black people. We got to start thinking free to remove ourselves from that mindset, and then physically remove ourselves and separate from this BS, man. Anything in 2 minutes, man, y'all want to get in, feel free. Al Rackton said maybe we can inject some disinfectant. Yeah, maybe we can spray some Lysol down the police officers. All the police officers open their mouth, spray some Lysol, and that might disinfect the racism and make them stop killing black people. Don't say that though, L. Rackett, because they're going to say, he didn't mean, that's not what he meant. Don't say that. Man, I'll be on that dude's head forever. But he's not the subject. So, shout out to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Even those who disagree with me, I appreciate y'all. I definitely got number love for y'all who support me and support just a peaceful movement, man, a peaceful resolution. Well, not necessarily a peaceful resolution, Because sometimes it takes water to get to the peace. Sometimes you got to hurt somebody to get them off you. But I appreciate all of y'all because of the time that y'all took. Y'all didn't have to. Your time is very valuable. So to give me your time regardless, I definitely appreciate y'all, man. So, yeah. Malcolm, one last thing. Yeah, you shoot a man 7 times in the back in front of his. But see, here's the thing, Malcolm. They don't care nothing about black folks' kids. Your children mean nothing to them. Nothing. That was a church bombed in Alabama back in the 60s where they killed 4 little girls. They don't care about children. The black children are just as worthless and meaningless to these races as the black adults. They don't even want the children to grow up to be adults. They don't care. So yeah, we think like that. That's how we think. We think like, man, to do that in front of the man kid. If I had a problem with somebody and I was going to see somebody, I would try my best to just see him, not to, if his children around, it's like, man, I would have to be just on some mob stuff to really just like, whoever that. So when they take you out in front of your children, your women, they don't care. They go back and discuss it. You see how scared his wife was, man? Babies were crying, man. You saw that? Devils, man. One love to y'all, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit those like buttons before y'all go if you haven't, man. And we'll keep you updated on this situation. If you haven't saw the video, go watch the video, Jacob Blake. And, give me your assessment. You tell me if you think it was justified or if it was another case of this blatant racism and attempted murder, in this case by police officers. And one love, man. I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all, man. Peace.